All right, guys, we have two more bits of movie news coming up. And, oh, excuse me. I just have had a tickle in the nose there. Um, if anybody has ever watched this show ever, you know how much I hate Pete Davidson. Now, when I say now when I say hate Pete Davidson, I say it with the caveat I've never met the guy. There's a very strong chance that he and I would get along and we would actually kind of enjoy each other, that we would like each other, that we would maybe hang out and become friends. There's a very strong chance because it seems like his personality type and my personality type would work very well together. That being said, I put out a video a few months ago about the Pete Davidson Deadpool and how I hope and wish. Here, do I still have the photo? I might still have the photo here. Yep, there it is. There it is. The Pete Davidson Deadpool. I put out a video called because Pete Davidson is playing a character in the new Suicide Squad movie, and it's my personal hope and desire that he's the first person to get killed in the film. As just to say nobody's safe, you can kill anybody. Because I hate Pete Davidson so much, and it's not that I hate the human being. I've never met the guy, but I just don't like what he represents. Like the smug nature that is Pete Davidson, that's the part that I don't like. He's a decent actor. He's fine. He's okay. And hey, look, we've all been put in those situations where we are given something that we don't feel that we deserved or that we earned, but we have that thing anyway. And that's fine. I don't begrudge people their luck. I don't. I've had incredible luck throughout my career so far. And I feel so lucky and blessed and hashtag blessed, like whatever it is you want to call it. I feel so grateful for those experiences that I received that I don't feel that I was ready to receive yet, but I'm so grateful for those experiences. And the difference between us is that I feel that, or rather the image that Pete Davidson puts off is that he doesn't appear to be grateful for some of those opportunities and instances. Now, this is definitely turning into Mike Brown hates Pete Davidson fest, right? And I understand that.
Yeah.
He's also not my cup of tea. He is very much other people's cup of tea. All of this is to say, Pete Davidson is going to play George Bailey in It's a Wonderful Life table read. I'm totally fine. I'm totally fine with Ed Asner putting on this holiday event and saying, hey, we're going to raise money for charity, and we're going to get all these different actors to play all these different roles, and we're just going to do a table read of It's a Wonderful Life. I think that's an awesome idea. Great. Yes, please. And when we get down to brass tacks, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that Pete Davidson is reading for George Bailey. It doesn't matter. It's not like they're doing a live screen adaptation. And even if they were, again, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I think. Because it doesn't. Here's the thing. If putting Pete Davidson in the role as George Bailey for a table read-through of It's a Wonderful Life is going to get more viewers and it's going to get more people interested, then by all means, put him in. He's popular for a reason. People like him. I'm not one of those people. Carter, I just ranted for a couple of minutes about my loathsome feelings towards Pete Davidson and why I kind of don't think this is a great idea. But at the other side of the coin, it's kind of a great idea. You know, you feel me? You know where I'm coming from? I don't know, where do you sit with this? What are your thoughts? It just seems strange and weird to me.
I think it's a fine decision. I mean, he was, I still haven't seen King of Broadway, but I'm really
King of
interested
Staten
just
Island?
based off of what Pete Davidson. Oh yeah, King Staten Island.
The
Sorry, I was thinking of what
producers.
was that? That's the Zach Braff musical. Uh, oh yeah, that's also the
Yeah,
song in the producers. Yeah.
I
Have you
have.
seen
Yeah,
King of Staten Island or no?
it was
Oh, was he
fine.
good? No, you seem like
Yeah,
you
it
still.
was fine. It's here
I
because again, like the story of the King of Staten Island follows this kid. It very closely mirrors his own life. Like, here's this kid who grows up in
Yeah.
Staten Island. He's a non-functioning adult. His ADHD is so bad that he can't get himself to focus on anything. His relationships fall apart. He wants a father figure so badly, and that's the touching part of the movie. But it's so frustrating because nobody in the movie is likable. There's not a single likable character in the
Hmm.
movie. And again, that is dependent on subjectivity. Some people will argue that, well, of course Pete Davidson is a likable
Yeah.
character. I identify with someone like Pete Davidson, and if you do, good for you. Like, and I say that genuinely. I don't like the portrayal
Yeah.
of the character of Pete Davidson. Him as a human being and him as a persona are very different things, and it's the persona, it's the image that he puts out there of himself of just not caring, and he still gets these wonderful things but he doesn't care about them. That's
I
what
think
bugs me.
I kind of agree with you when it comes to this, but even when looking into Pete Davidson a little bit more and taking some testimonies from people that I've known in my childhood, one is one of my closest friends, and I always felt like I was kind of losing him to like the Greek frat boy crowd at a college that he went to, like in a different state, and one of the things that he said to me about Pete Davison was that he realized that he could be vulnerable with his guy, like with me. So he would call me and tell me about family trauma that he was
Right.
going through and other things. And and I find it very interesting because anytime I watch Pete Davison, I that's never it's never opened me to be more vulnerable to my guy friends. I just kind of look at him and I'm just like, he just seems like I don't know, like, yeah, I think I was trying not to say a bad word, but he just seems like not he seems like that kind of guy that I wouldn't like who's being vulnerable, and I don't feel like I should praise him for doing that.
But
But when I realize that he's this archetype or this persona of people that don't often do that and are giving other people
I think it's
basically
kind of a similar
the
reason as to why
the
I've
go
been very
ahead. Yeah.
vocal in saying that I don't like Billie Eilish. Kind of for a very similar reason. It's like I'm sure she's a lovely girl
Oh,
and her music is revolutionary to a lot of people. It doesn't speak to me. It's not meant for my demographic. I'm a I'm a 38-year-old white heterosexual male. That music doesn't speak to me. It's not meant for me. It's not designed for my enjoyment or pleasure. Now, it doesn't mean that people of my same demographic can't enjoy a Billie Eilish song. Of course they can. Like, Bad Guy is such a snappy earworm, right? Um, but
mhm.
I also wholeheartedly recognize that some of these characters and personas who are a little bit larger than life, and I think it's fair to say that Pete Davidson is a persona that's larger than life. Um,
Yeah.
they you raise a really great point in saying that, like, if this is the kind of person or persona or image that makes you feel more comfortable putting yourself out there and being more vulnerable with your friends or your family or your comfort system or whoever, whatever, then great. Those are the images that we need more of. We need more people to let us know that it's fine to be who we are. Uh, it's fine to be who we are, but we also need to know that we are being protected and looked out for by the people closest to us. And I am all for that. And
True.
if that's the message that Pete Davidson is putting out to someone else, great. Harness that. I encourage that. It's just the smug attitude And maybe he's grown out of it. I haven't watched a lot of like current Pete Davidson stuff. Maybe he's grown out of it. I don't know.
His last special was
Was
really
it
nice. Like
stand-up
just
special?
generally, like I would say like yeah, his last stand-up special. Like I think if I had to put a theme to it, it was kind of one of these things where it was like sometimes something happens to you that you think is going to bring you happiness for the rest of your life, but um, what it really does is it shows you that you have to
Right.
do it yourself. Like you have to put effort into making yourself happy and no one else around you. And a majority of especially talk, or not a majority, but he talks about his relationship with Ariana Grande and him breaking up with Cassie David, or that breakup happening. He technically didn't do it, I believe. But I don't know. He really interests me as a person, especially his friendship with John Mulaney really interests me, and I'm also really interested in reading about him in Cassie David's new book that just came out, I think last week.
Interesting.
So
Well, yeah, maybe
I
now I've got
yeah
to check out his stand up special and kind of see what's changed and maybe reevaluate. And I think that's the isn't that the key? Isn't that the whole thing?
maybe
Is
yeah. I think that is the key. I think the big thing that I'm really looking forward to is hearing about both Larry David and Pete Davison in this book. And that's what
ooh
I'm as soon
interesting.
as I get it. Well, yeah, I mean, I think I don't know if you read
No,
the
I'm
headline
not
that
familiar with it at all.
Cassie David. Oh yeah. Cassie David came out. The book is about her
Huh.
relationship with Pete Davison to this extreme depression where everything on the news was about Pete and Ariana Grande, and she's now left alone because of just in like a little issue
Right.
that she was having. And and one of the headlines was absolutely my favorite, where it says Larry David is very much Curb Your Enthusiasm in real life, where she's crying in her bed in her hotel room, and her father, Larry David, runs in, shakes her, and says, "Our ancestors survived the Holocaust."
Wow.
And so I'm very
Wow.
interested to see what Pete Davidson and
Huh.
Larry David are like in this book
Cool.
from her eyes.
Yeah, I
So
would
yeah.
love to. Now I really want to check it out. Question is for you guys. I know we barely even talked about Pete Davidson being on, like playing the role of George Bailey in the upcoming Ad Asner production
Yeah,
of
but
It's a Wonderful Life. It's a table read. It's not a film. It's not a movie. It will be televised, but it's just a table read. But yeah, what do you think of Pete Davidson? Do you think my observations are accurate? Do you think they're fair? Do you think I'm just full of crap? Should I stop hating on Pete? First of all, let me uh, qualify maybe a little bit. It's kind of fun to like playful hate on someone because again, it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter what my thoughts and feelings are about Pete Davidson. Honestly, it doesn't even matter what my thoughts and feelings are about a particular movie review. Those things don't matter. It's kind of fun to talk about. It's kind of fun to go on and on and on about. But ultimately, in the end, they don't matter. Am I just being too harsh on Pete Davidson? Should I just let bygones be bygones? Or do you think my opinions are valid? I mean, I think a lot of people's opinions are valid. What do you think? Jump on down to the comment section below and let me know your thoughts. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you like this video, click like. And if you really like this video, click subscribe. And if you really, really like this video, click share. Because that is exactly what Weird Al Yankovic would want you to do. Dun, 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 dun.